Hi, and welcome back to Celodex. Today we're going to be taking a look at brand commissions and specifically reconciling those commissions to what the manufacturer pays and what you expect to be paid on. So let's take a look. Here we have a commission report that was sent by the brand. And as you can see, we've got a date, we've got the invoice numbers, associated PO numbers, units, dollars, the commission rate that they paid, the commissions they paid out, and we even have a few credit memos with a net number here at the bottom. So we use this as our guide. Now, what we have done behind the scenes, and actually in another video, is we've entered all of these invoices already into the system, which is the key component to reconciling your commissions. So if you need help with entering invoices or importing invoices, I suggest you please take a look at those videos to step you through that process, which again would be mandatory before moving on to this step. All right, so back to Celodex. We're going to click on commissions on the left, and we're simply going to click on new commission in the top right. We'll go ahead and give it a date. So we know that these were February shipping, and the brand paid us out, I believe, on 3/1. And just so you're aware, the commission number that is auto-entered by Celodex is just a unique number. Now you can leave it or you can rename it. So in this case, I like to rename things Bet and Max February 2018. And we're going to then select Bet Max. And you'll notice we've got a bunch of invoices that pop through the window down below after we've selected the brand. So these are invoices that are in the system but have not yet been associated to any commission statement. The next thing we can do is we'll add a check number, and I believe the check number is 1246. That's the check that they paid us with. And we know that these were invoices that were entered in the system that all happened, as we look back at this statement, that happened between January 31st and February 28th. The great thing about this is that we can now enter January 31st to February 28th to filter down so that we have fewer invoices and hopefully just the ones that are appropriate for this commission statement. Now that we've got the date range and now we've minimized the open invoices, let's go ahead and put in one more bit of information, and that is how much they paid us. In this case, it was $933.70, and we'll drop this in right here, $933.70. So far, because we've selected no invoices, it says the total commission is projected at 0. Let's go ahead and select all. And now we're just a $5 difference. What could that be? Well, it could be a number of things. It could be we've entered the wrong shipping amount, or the commission is wrong for the showroom. And you'll notice here I've got a 13%, I've got a bunch of 12s. Let's just double check with our commission statement from the manufacturer. So here I've got a 13 and I've got another 13%, but I only saw one on the other. This is CM990 and 204. So CM990, that's 13%, and 204, oh, we've got it listed as 12. They actually paid us 13. So anything with a little dotted line underneath it is something that can be modified right here in this screen. So we're going to go ahead and write 13, and we're going to save that. And sure enough, there was a $5 difference that was calculated, and now we have a 0 balance. Kind of a quick way to think about reconciling your commissions is it's like reconciling your bank statement. You want to make sure that what the bank sends you matches your records at the end of the day. There's a few more details here that I'd like to show you, although I'm not going to put it into practice on this commission. One is that we can modify multiple records at one time. For instance, we notice here that the showroom commission is correct, 12 and 13%, but maybe the sales rep commission should all be 4% and not some of these 6s. And rather than changing all of them, you could leave the select all, right? Or select the appropriate ones. Then do a bulk edit, choose the field, which would be the sales rep commission, and now we're going to make this 4 instead of the 6 on some of them, and we're going to update. And as we do, you'll notice that every single one of the sales reps commissions have been modified to 4. Now there's a few other options you can do too. You can do the showroom commission. You could even modify the invoice number, in bulk the invoice date if you'd like to make them all one date, for instance. So you could actually even do a delete selected and actually delete those invoices that are unwanted. The last thing I'd like to point out in the showroom reconciliation is that although these numbers are derived from the amount shipped multiplied by the projected showroom and sales rep commission, these numbers could be modified and overwritten if needed. And the very last thing that you may want to do is you may want to change the status. So in this case, we're very good. We've matched what the brand paid us, and it matches what we projected to receive. So we're going to go ahead and close. You may want to use the pending option if you're not done with this commission or you've got more invoices to enter. So again, in this case, we're going to use close and save. Now, this brings us back to a profile. You can do a couple of things here. You could actually just print this the way it is, but for something a little nicer, you can go ahead and do a download to spreadsheet. And now you've got something to work with on your end. It also gives you the same breakdown for sales reps that you can pay out. Returning back to the brand commissions, you'll notice that this is at the top of the list and it's got that brand name. At any point in the time in the future, if you'd like to re-access that commission statement, just click on the commission reference or number and it'll bring you right back here. If in the event you made any type of mistake that you would like to change or correct, possibly changing commission rate or unassociating an invoice from this commission, you would simply click Edit. As you return to the screen, you'll notice that there's a lot of invoices that are not part of this commission. As you can see, some have been checked, but the majority here at the top have not been checked because these were not previously selected. To view only the chosen invoices that you previously selected, you'll use this checkbox to narrow the field. This brings up all of the invoices that were previously selected. At that point in time, you could uncheck certain invoices if you deem them not part of this commission, or again, modify any of the information you need here. That being said, let's go ahead and resave this, and let's take a look at invoices now. Now that we're back here at the invoices table, you can kind of see how the reconciliation works. As you'll notice, when an invoice is put into the system, the sales rep status is open and the showroom status is open. However, we have now just associated 16 invoices and credit memos to the BetMax February 2018. So let's take a look at that. We're going to select this in the showroom status filter, and it's going to bring those up. So these are no longer open. They are associated to that commission. Now, if in the event you ever needed to delete an invoice because it was done in error, you would first have to go back to commissions, click on the commission, edit the commission, select the commissions that were previously selected, and then you would actually have to uncheck those invoices. By doing so and saving and returning back to the invoices, you'll notice now that we have 14. We'll go ahead and put that date range in to find those invoices that you may want to delete or associate with a different commission. And just to show you how this works, BetMax, and now we're going to choose Open. And these are the two that we disassociated from that commission. And as you can see, the status is no longer BetMax February 2018. It's gone back to Open. At this point, you could literally go in here to Invoice and then delete that invoice. If it is associated, it's not deletable. After you've done several brand commissions, you'll want to take the next step and watch our video on user commissions, which is similar but different. Well, that's it, and as you can see, it's all pretty intuitive. If you have any questions, please don't hesitate to ask. Thanks for watching, and happy selling.